Chris Holtz, Beckett Sports Card Monthly here. I've got my first retro box break of the new year, 2014, and well, it's a box I've only opened once before, but I'm very familiar with buying loosies of this brand. A brand I prefer from back in the day, but of course it's not traditional, so therefore it's not always that valuable. But the boxes are getting tougher and tougher to find all the time. 1992 Pro Line Football. I don't want to say it's the first, but I'm pretty sure it is. The first brand to guarantee an autograph in every single wax box. I don't know for sure, but I am pretty sure. Right there. Of course, it's on average, just like the current stuff. But whether I get an autograph or not, and I hope I do, this brand is full of very non-traditional cards and some of the best photography ever put to cardboard. I will rip the seal off this bad boy just so I can show off some of the card images. And then I'm going to rip into this, what I believe is a 36-pack monster. The Joe Montana card right there on the front of the box has to be one of the classier portraits ever put on cardboard for football. You can't see it, but he's got his Super Bowl rings on each finger. The Muhammad Ali NFL Classics, or Team NFL cards. He's one of several Team NFL cards. Autographs of him. Autographs of you name it. This is a fun one for me, and I've only opened a box probably 14, 15 years ago. 91, I've opened plenty. 92, where they guarantee an autograph in every single box, a little harder to find. They sold a little better. And of course, in years after that, they were obviously, pretty much an autograph in every box and one of those like mainstays of shredding packs. There it is. I think it's 36. It doesn't even say on the outside of the box, but it's a big old stack. So here we go. This is a fun one for me. And I just happened to place a bid on a box and got it way cheaper than I thought. It's a combination of the standard Pro Line cards, which is kind of a continuation of the 1991 set. Players, coaches, and other people, including NFL players' wives, dressed in NFL Pro Line gear for portraits with a non-traditional card back, which includes a quote and or kind of a short story. Now there's that set in this one. There's a subset, of course, with retired throwback players. Here's Dan Fouts. That's kind of the normal card. And then within the set, each player that is showcased on a Pro Line Profiles card has 9 cards which kind of tell a story on a single page. So they're made to be put into pages. Card number 8 of 9 for Pat Swilling shows him with some, I think it's underprivileged children, not family members, but lots of family members in these. And the page, as you'll see, takes you through the player's career. For example, a Keith Byers card shows him in his college years at Ohio State on card 4. Carl Banks, also a college shot. Ronnie Lott, as a Little League or Pee Wee League baseball player, as well as a football player, on card number 2 for his page. And there's just a mix of players. Jerry Rice, little tennis portrait action. Tim Rosenbaugh, working the ranch. And then a portrait at the ranch. Jim Everett, Vinny Testaverde. And I also have to be careful on sorting these cards because the autographs are on the standard cards. They're just crimped in the corner. Now, that's one thing to watch out for is since Impel or whatever the company was that put these things out, I think it was Impel at the time, as the ownership evolved and things shuffled from company to company. I think Classic had them later. Those crimping devices got into the hands of some people who aren't afraid to fake some autographs. So I'll show you once I pull one what the difference is in the autographs if I pull a certain type. And if not, I'll tell you. But for now, I'm just going to show you some more pictures. Warren Moon at Oregon. Mark Rippon. And there are some interesting card cameos, hopefully, here. Steve Largent among the players. John Taylor in a nice portrait. Boomer Esiason. Meeting Kenny McQuaid. I don't remember the story there, but I'm sure it relates to some charitable endeavors, probably. Junior Seau among the players with the 9 profiles cards. Art Shell, the first card for him. His profile, that is. Little non-traditional portrait action. Mike Singletary working out. Each center page, after I show off this epic portrait, each center page has a piece of art. There's the center spot for Bubby Brister. Art by Greg Spalinka. And one of the non-traditional inserts that 91 Pro Line brought with it continued in 92, and actually into a year or two later too. NFL Spirit, NFL players' wives on trading cards. This right here is a Kathy Lee Gifford card, and she, I believe, signed autographs just like most other people in the set. Maybe not for her, but I'm pretty sure. You check Beckett.com for the whole checklist. This product is ridiculously loaded with autographs, although there's, like I said, only 1 per box. So let me get a look at what I'm looking at here. Jim Harbaugh, Boomer Esiason, Seau, Art Shell. Little team shot action there. Boomer Esiason in his Maryland uniform, not what you normally see on some cardboard. John Elway, Anthony Carter, Roger Staubach has some memorable cards in this one. Both action and portraits. Not much else in that pack. I'll keep going because I've got plenty of packs to go. This might be one of the longer box break videos of a while, unless I just run out of gas. I'll take a glance here, then I'll turn them over to show you guys. Jeff Hostetler, Jim Everett, Sterling Sharp. Big fan of him back in the day before I think it was a neck problem derailed his career. Jerry Rice portrait. Now, because these are non-traditional cards, they're not always that valuable. It's really kind of one of those products where it was shredded heavily for the autographs, and even those aren't that expensive. But the boxes can be, what's the phrase, outpunt their coverage, so to speak. I've seen boxes of this stuff for 92 sell as high as like $70, which there ain't much in there. Even if you get an autograph, that's going to be $70. A few are, but most of them aren't. Gary Clark with a nice portrait. Another player's wife, Robin Swilling. And I actually have pulled in the past player's wife autograph cards. Janet Elway, traded it. Babette Kosar was my first, Bernie Kosar's wife. Still have that one tucked away in the collection somewhere. How about Tim Rosenbaugh on the ranch again? Jerry Rice, Roger Staubach. Here's a fun card. John Taylor, clearly likes some bowling. This would be a great card. Unfortunately, it's not his son who is in the NFL, but here's a card of Christian Okoye with his daughter. Very non-traditional cardboard here. Also in the hobby boxes, there are jumbo boxes that have gold rookies, which were pretty light on the autos, at least in my experience. Mark Rippon, a gold quarterback card. Now these are in the standard hobby boxes, so should get a handful of those. Don't know the odds, didn't bother checking. All of it's on Beckett.com, go check it out. I'll probably link to that area from here. Got to watch, the autographs on these cards are sometimes signed on the front, sometimes signed on the back. And each authentic card is crimped, as I was talking about earlier, but probably didn't explain well. They're crimped with a special marking. And there's some other differences in the card design which will tell you whether it's legit or not. This would be a fun autograph, but it's not one. It's a Chris Berman card. Chris Berman, the ESPN announcer, was at a event where they had all the coaches standing for a portrait, and one of the coaches didn't show up. So they put him in the photo too, and he tells the story on the back of his card. That's an insert. Carol Hinton, Chris Hinton's wife. Let's see. The last time I bought a sealed box of these, I got this guy's autograph. Hayward Jeffries. Not the biggest autograph of the bunch. Not a bad player, but not the biggest autograph. Touchdown Tommy Vardell. Michael Dean Perry. Andre Tippett. Jim Kelly and his family. Mike Shula, along with Don Shula. No, that's Dave. Mike Shula in the front. I thought it was. Coach and son. Went on to be the coach in Alabama when I was there. Joe Gibbs. And a couple others. There are some interesting cards. I hope I pull them. I'm sure I'll probably pull a few if I missed them. It was another story. But there are actually players who are in the NFL who appear in this set as kids. Mitzi Testaverde. Let me scroll through them here to make sure I don't miss an autograph or anything. Front and back. Okay. Let's see. They are, and obviously you probably figured this out by now, there are no names on the card fronts, which makes it another kind of a card set where you have to, another reason you have to stop and kind of look at your cards. Sterling Sharp on the campus of South Carolina, I believe. Yep. Bobby Brister, Jeff Hostetler, Roger Staubach and family. This is just a fun set. It's not about the money, it's about the collecting and stories and learning about the players in the game. I'll take that back. When I show, there are stats, but only on one card in the profiles. So let me show one of those since I just pulled it. The painting card in each center pocket, or center card, has the player's stats inside. Kind of a non-traditional but really interesting approach for making cards. And for me, the portraits, the very creative imagery, stuff like that, working out. Ted Marchibroda, non-traditional inclusions such as coaches. I just like it. And it's a brand that's not for everybody, clearly. Picture of Mike Ditka eating. And I think, the story story in the back talks about his heart attack during his career. Don Shula with the Super Bowl trophy. Jim Kelly in a portrait area, portrait zone with the team logo behind him. There's some big autographs in here, as I said. Here's one that could be a big autograph, I believe. It's either in this series or the first series. I'm thinking it's this one. Al Davis, the Raiders owner, signed a very small number of cards. Let me check the cards here. Like I said, some signed on the front, some signed on the back. So you got to kind of slow down. All right. John Fina, Sterling Sharp's Proline Portraits card. Not the profiles. Profiles are the 9-card subset. Not much going on in this one. Some lesser names in that pack. Jim Harbaugh, Chris Dolman. Maybe not a lesser name on the field, but on cards he is. This might be the longest video I've ever done. Mike Pryor, Gary Conklin. Portraits of rookies and other players who probably don't have a lot of cards either. Here's a checklist with a puzzle on the back. Pat Swilling. Keith Byers, Carl Banks, Ronnie Lott as a USC Trojan. Rodney Peete, and more. Sure I didn't miss an autograph here. Not even a third of the way through the box. And it's taken 15 minutes. If you're still with me waiting for the ink, good on you. Here's a fun one. Tony Dorsett Throwbacks Portrait. Really like that subset. Some good names. Here's a fun one. Junior Seau and his Pee Wee Little League, whatever you want to call it, football. Actually, It doesn't say. I thought it did, but he looked a little young for that to be a college photograph. Eric Dickerson in his Colts days. Derek Thomas among the autograph subjects in this one. I'd take a Derek Thomas autograph. Plenty of them in here, but obviously there are fakes out there. So the key, if you can find wax, you pull them that way. Not easy, but you know, it'll work. Some more fun portraits. Lem Barney, Charlie Taylor, Steve Largent, Mark Rippon playing golf, Michael Irvin, Randall Cunningham, Ernest Biner, Jerry Glanville behind the seat of a stock car. He was a racer in NASCAR in the lower level back in the day. Randall Cunningham working his ACL, torn ACL knee back into shape. Michael Irvin in a portrait. Now, some people may throw this brand in there with the pro sets of the world, and to a degree, yeah, it is. It's the overproduced years and just some kind of different stuff, but I really, really like cards like these. Frank Gifford portrait to go with my Kathy Lee earlier. Jane Novacek, very nice portrait card there. These are the kind of cards that would look good signed through the mail or in person. I mean, this photograph right here is just screaming for an autograph, isn't it? Right there beside his face. Mike Singletary, Ken O'Brien, Ditka. Woo! 3 Troy Aikmans in 1 pack. I'll show that off here. Card number 1, the cards with the name on them. Card number 7 and card number 8. Little action and a little behind the scenes kind of portrait style stuff going on there. Close in on halfway through the box. Now there is a chance I won't get an autograph in this one. You never know if the box may have been tampered with. I don't know if there was patterns where you could easily find the autographs in certain spots. Can't say I ever tried or learned or got into that whole thing. And I have gotten Proline boxes in the past from different years that didn't have autographs in them, but I chalked that up to somebody messed up somewhere. Warren Moon with a nice portrait. Randall Cunningham with some golf action. Michael Irvin. Faith Cherry. Chiefs fan, of course. Next pack. Worked this week and came home on a Friday just to do more work, but I don't know if I'd call opening Proline work. I like this stuff. Hortensis Carter, Chris Carter's wife at the time. Probably still is, perhaps still is. Here's a classic card. The Man in Black, Waylon, and another star. Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Jerry Glanville, and Chris Christopherson. That might be a rookie card if there were rookie cards for people outside of their area. Not really a rookie card, but got to be one of the first major cardboard appearances for most of those guys, and probably, wink wink, the first card showing all of them. Jack Kemp, Boomer Esiason, Phil Simms, Ken O'Brien. Let's keep going. Another coach's wife, Kate Cower, who I believe died from cancer a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure, but I remember the autograph being of interest at the time. Alvin Harper. Obviously, a lot of these people, this might be their only autograph if they're not a non-traditional player. Here's a explainer card, kind of an introductory card. Got some dupes in this pack. Boomer Esiason in high school, I believe. It's a fun set to rip into. If the prices are I've seen a box of this. I don't know if I said this yet. I've seen these as high as $70. I don't think it's really worth it when it's that expensive. But it's a fun rip for sure. And it's probably more fun when you're not trying to talk and show and make sure you're not too slow. Not much going on in that pack. But I'll take a Randall Cunningham autograph or some of the old school guys. How about Sonny Jurgensen? Nice portrait there. Don't think I ever pulled that one back in the day. Another guy I'd take an autograph of. Well, look at this. That was a serious packaging issue. Card 4, Troy Aikman. Card 2, Troy Aikman. Card 6, Troy Aikman. Card 5, Troy Aikman. How about that? Oh, and card 3, Troy Aikman. Card 9 of 9, Troy Aikman. No ink there, unless I missed it. 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 9 Troy Aikmans in one pack. Bubby Brister, a couple times over. Keith Byers, playing a little one-on-one. All right, almost halfway through. I think this is the halfway mark for the box. Good thing I'm not recording this in HD. I'll be here 3 more days just to process it. Coming up right here is easily one of the greatest cards ever made. Ken Snake Stabler posing with a snake. Epic photography. That one's getting set aside separately too. Oh, and I have my autograph. Now, not the biggest name, but this is a good example. So here's the front of the card. It is Bill Brooks. And on the back of the card was where the signature is, right across the top. And you'll notice on this side there's no card number. Let me find an example here to show real fast. And of course, none are in that stack. The regular card has a card number. The autographs do not. However, there were blank sheets of these cards that got out, or fakes where people crimped them. So I don't even think, like for example, I don't think BGS grades them without them being JSA'd, unfortunately. So Bill Brooks, probably not the big time autograph I was hoping for, but you know what? I bet it's probably his only autograph. So I'll keep ripping here. Maybe I'll get 2, or maybe I'll just be greedy and hope for 2. Well, you get it. Ditka, Phil Simms, Jack Kemp. See if I can find any of those other cameo cards. Here's a fun one. Chris Miller, former Falcons quarterback, as a Bellingham Mariner. Minor league baseball player for the Mariners, of course. Ken O'Brien with his 3 kids on cards. There are others, I think Howie Long, Phil Simms. Their kids who are NFL players or were NFL players have cards here. Kind of pre-rookie cards. I think Al Toon has one, where his son, who was just drafted last year, this year, also has a card. Richard Todd, a nod to his banking days now, or in the past. Lynn Swan, Eric Dickerson. Let's see here. I'll just flip through these quickly. Derek Thomas, once again. Little reading program action. Steve Largent and family. I'm going to habitually check the backs for the autographs on these 2, even though I got my 1. Let's see here. You gotta love this. Oh, I got one of the greatest cards ever made coming up. How about that one? That one's not one of the greatest ever made. This is Mitch Farrat. Couldn't remember that name, but here comes one of the classics. Team NFL, Milton Berle, comedian. Don't ask me why, but I like this card. I don't know, Dan, don't ask me why he's in the set other than he agreed to pose for some photos. This can be found autographed in these packs, which is pretty cool. Another cool card right beside it. The rookie, pre-rookie, or real rookie card, if you want to go there, for 2 of Howie Long's kids. All of his kids are in this one. 2 of them are NFL players. Howie Long, Diane Long, and then Chris and what's his name? I forgot the newest one. There you go. That's a real Long rookie card. Another fun card. Dan McGuire was one of the tallest players in NFL history. Or taller, I don't know. It was 6'8". Here's the bottom half of one of his cards, showing his height at his locker. The top half is to be found elsewhere on a card. Bernie Kosar, Rodney Peete, Ronnie Lott, Keith Byers, Pat Swilling. Ronnie and Karen Lott. She also has a card in this one. I think this has been a good box so far, and there's still more cool cards to come. Chris Carter with a nice portrait in his post-Eagles days. Junior Seau. Boomer Esiason with his dogs. Some cool images also in that regard. Actually, check out the latest BSCM coming up. There's an autograph issue there, and I talk about a couple of Pro Line autographs that are of note. I think a couple of them are from this exact year. Check it out. A little late for a plug, 25 minutes in, but you know, if you're still watching, my hat is off even though it's on. Now there are some, after a while opening a lot of these, some of these cards probably will get annoying to you, some of the lesser photos. But there's some good visuals here. Jack Kemp would have been a good autograph card through the mail. A lot of players who were probably fringe at the time or even commons at the time with cards. That just kind of helps the interest level to me. Now, it's not always valuable, but I think it makes it more interesting. Randall Cunningham. Jim Sweeney. Otto Graham and a nice portrait there. Steve Largent, Warren Moon. Little Neon Dion action. Little John Elway action. Sometimes the portraits aren't as creative as others. But then again, maybe John Elway just didn't want to hang out that day. This pack feels like it has extra cards in it. There's only supposed to be, I think, 12 cards per pack. Yeah, 12 cards per pack. This one, extra thick, so hopefully has an extra autograph or something, right? Bubba McDowell, Jim Jensen, Aaron Wallace, Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders, Michael Irvin, and I'll count them just for fun. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus another card. And this is a pretty nice card. Joe Namath, Joe Montana, quarterback gold. That's my second one of those. Still more packs to go. I haven't done a rip and retail in a while. I don't even know if I called it that in the intro. Probably didn't. But it's a fun one. Here's a card I never pulled back in the day. In fact, I've never even seen it before. Felicia Moon, Warren Moon's wife. Never pulled it before. Here comes a classic one. I'll give you a little bit of a news scoop while we're at it. Here's a great card. It tells a story. Derek Thomas was 5 years old when his father was killed in a mission over Vietnam. The name of the mission was Linebacker 2. And little Derek Thomas went on to become an NFL player after a star career at Alabama. And here he is posing with his dad's military honors. Now, speaking of military, this will be a card that gets a mention in a showing in the early part of 2014, probably, well, actually April, May-ish. Beckett Yearbook presents, or Beckett Yearbook Military Collectibles, coming soon. So when you see fewer of these videos, that's probably what I'm working on. Warren Moon, Mark Rippon, and others with their families. Beckett Military. It's coming. Militaria, I believe, is the formal term. Fred Biletnikoff. I was too busy thinking about the Militaria. Derek Thomas again. Oh, another classic. Randall Cunningham. I'm hoping for another autograph card, but it's probably not going to happen. But you never know. I'm sure it's possible. Bill Cowher might be a rookie card there. If not, it's one of only a few cards showing him. Another checklist. Jerry Rice. Sterling Sharp, and this is a painting, although it's probably hard to tell. Jeff Hostetler a couple times, and more. 30 minutes. Woo, woo, woo. Hopefully there'll be something to reward us here if we stayed around this long. Chester McGlockton, Jack Kemp, Chris Miller, Mike Singletary, Ken O'Brien, a nice Ditka painting. Ditka. Here's another classic one. It shows Jim Kelly with his collection of jerseys. Very cool portrait, very cool photograph. That back in the day, this probably still a common type card, was very cool to me. Stood out from the pack. How about a Warren Moon quarterback gold? Not much going on in that one. Just a mugshot. That's all it took to make a card back in the day. It was just slap a mugshot, print it up, and gold. Maybe some gold foil. Here's a fun card. Butkus on the golf course. Another wife card, Cindy Noble. Y.A. Tittle. Ditka. Shula. Starting to see some dupes here, so no reason to show them. Thurman Thomas, Joe Gibbs. Wishfully checking for some autographs. Didn't happen. A few more packs to go. 6 packs to go. Not even going to edit it. Going to show them all. Or at least rip them all and ramble about them all. Let's see here. 2 checklists in 1 pack. There's hope for another autograph. Bruce Smith, Dion Elway, Irvin, Randall Cunningham. That's a nice photograph, so I'm going to show it again. Boom. Next pack. Then I got to go eat lunch. Well, actually, it wouldn't be lunch, but I feel like I didn't eat lunch, so. Jim Kelly, nice photograph. Here's a cool card. Joe Gibbs, nod to his racing team back when he was still a coach. He's still a racing owner. Don't know if he's won a cup yet, though. I'm trying to think. Maybe. I think Tony Stewart, maybe. I'm not a NASCAR guru, but I'll play one next month in BSCM, that's for sure. Jimmy Johnson's probably on the next cover. The Others issue of BSCM coming next. Brian Brennan. Little portrait action. Not a guy whose card you would normally go, oh yeah, that's cool. They were who they thought we were. Or they were who we thought they were. Or they were who they thought we were. I don't even remember the phrase, but Dennis Green, his pre-rant days. I think that's his first card, maybe his only card. Ronnie Lott, Jerry Rice. Another card for the Militaria issue. Roger Staubach, Navy. Card backs are great. They tell a story, lots of interesting quotage. I think one of the companies should bring ProLine's approach back. I'll say it now. Derek Finner, Michael Haynes, David Klingler. Remember when he was supposed to be the greatest thing ever? And don't forget, you got to pose with your cars every once in a while. Oh, and his limo's on the back. Let's see here. Seeing some new ones I haven't seen yet. Joe Gibbs again. Dan McGuire. Howie Long. Not much going on portrait-wise, though. Some fun stuff, but nothing really cool visually. 2 packs to go. Ugh. Greg Lloyd. He's been oiled. Here's a fun one. Brian Jordan, who played football for the Falcons, also played baseball for the Cardinals, I believe. It's been a while. But Dion, too, didn't really happen. But he's got the card, and there's an autograph version of this to find, too. So it's always worth the hunt. Big fan of these. Dan McGuire. Bubby Brister. Well, Bubby Brister is a baseball player. Ronnie Lott. Bernie Kosar with his kid, who's probably in college by now. Or, well, actually, 92, 2002. out of college by now. Whew, I'm old. Final pack. Let's see here. Johnny Mitchell, Vance Johnson, who doesn't have a lot of cards, you know. Doesn't have as many as some other guys. Lewis Billups. Derek Thomas, talking about his limo service business, I believe. Steve Largent, Mark Rippon. Little Bruce Smith action photography going on. Little John and Janet Elway with the kids. Little Deion Sanders playing some baseball at FSU. Michael Irvin. And the final card in the final pack of this video, which is really, really long, is an Ernest Biner. So, not as exciting. So, I got the one autograph guaranteed. It wasn't Milton Berle. It wasn't Cassius Clay or Muhammad Ali. He did sign both versions. It wasn't Joe Montana. It wasn't Emmitt Smith. It wasn't Steve Young. It was Bill Brooks. I don't know why I showed it the wrong way, but there's the autograph right on the back. Bill Brooks. But you know, I didn't get the big one, but it was a fun rip. I don't have a lot of these cards. I have a lot of memories of seeing these cards and wanting these cards, but never really picked them off like I should have probably. Some fun ones in there though. Milton Berle. Don Mattingly has a card. Isaiah Thomas has an autograph card. You name it, Proline was a fun one. Got any of those autographs out there? Let me know. Tell me in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Should I do more of these videos? Did you even make it this far? 1992 Proline. A fun rip if you can find it, if it's cheap. Till next time, Chris Olds, Beckett Sports Card Monthly. Just keep ripping.